Welcome back to the Lights Out podcast, bedtime stories for boys and girls around the world. Good evening, boys and girls. Are you ready for bed? Are you all snuggled up and ready for another Lights Out bedtime story? Good, because you're in for a treat tonight. That's right, because we've got chapter 36 of Fing by David Williams, and there's only another chapter left, 36 and 37. Can you believe it? Wow. And tonight's chapter is called A Ginormous Boot Up the Bottom. Mr. and Mrs. Meek grabbed an arm each in a desperate attempt to pull their daughter to safety. But because they pulled in opposite directions, Myrtle went nowhere. Just as the creature was about to make impact and turn the girl to jelly, Myrtle kicked up her legs and booted Fing as hard as she could. "Take that, you beast!" "Grrr!" it cried. It was impossible to know which end of her foot had struck. It might have been a boot in the mouth, or it might have been a boot in the bottom. Either way, it worked. Fing flew up into the air, whizz, before landing back to earth a few paces away. Plop! Rather sorrowfully, it rolled to a stop at the end of the road and let out a pitiful yelp. Yep, yep, yep. A large tear, around the size of a football, welled up in its eye and trickled down its fur. "Ha ha!" mocked Myrtle. "It's nothing but a great big scaredy cat." Feeling all full of herself now, the girl waddled over to the creature. Waddle, waddle, waddle. "Oh, I wouldn't go near it, darling, if I were you." "Oh, darling one," cautioned Father. Come back, please, Bunnykins," pleaded Mother.
"Shut your faces," was the charming reply. "I'm gonna give it another ginormous boot up the bottom. And this time it's really gonna hurt."
"Grrr!" growled Fing, and its eyes narrowed. This time it was ready. When the girl kicked up her leg, its mouth widened. Let's please assume it was not its bottom this time. Chomp! It locked down on her ankle. "Ah!" said the girl. "It's got me foot!" Mr. and Mrs. Meek rushed over to extract their daughter from Fing's grasp. "Oh, Fing, stop!" shouted Father. "Please, Fing, I implore you," joined in Mother. However, before they could reach her, Fing began rolling down the road at terrific speed, taking Myrtle with it. "Whiz! Help!" cried the girl. Every time Fing completed a circle, Myrtle was rolled over. "Wah! Wah!" she wailed as the weight of the ginormous Fing squashed her. Father and Mother chased after them, but the creature rolled faster and faster. Whiz! The wah, wah, wahs came faster and faster too, and soon Fing was rolling so speedily that the pair became a blur. Brrr. "Oh, I've got a stitch," complained Father. Mother stopped to comfort him. "Oh, poor you." After just a few seconds, Fing and Myrtle were far away. In a few seconds more, they had completely disappeared. "Wah! Wah! Wah!" echoed in the distance, until Myrtle could be heard no more. Grrr. "Goodbye, sweetest of sweet cheeks," called out Mother. "Oh, farewell, my angel, sent from heaven," called Father. There followed a sound that Mr. and Mrs. Meek hadn't heard for a long, long time. A long, long time. Not since the day Myrtle had been born. The sound of silence. The pair smiled. For the first time in years, a sense of peace descended upon them. Mr. Meek
reached
for Mrs. Meek's hand.
She looked
At him lovingly, and she squeezed it tight. Hand in hand, the pair walked back to whatever was left of their house, and, of course, to finally take the Monsterpedia back to the library. There was a fine now
of a whopping 10 pence.
The end of chapter 36. A Ginormous Boot Up the Bottom. And Fing by David Williams. Here on the Lights Out podcast. Bedtime stories for boys and girls around the world. Good night.